Hi you guys, it's Stephanie. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I've been doing a little bit of crafting on my own the last couple of days. Maybe it's been 2 days. I don't remember. I haven't made a video for a little while anyway. So I thought I'd come along and do something different than what I've been doing on video. And I found some book page flowers on Pinterest, and I thought we would try to make those. So I've practiced, and they're pretty easy. They're a little fiddly, but they're pretty easy. And I don't know if this lady has a YouTube channel. I am not on Instagram. Like, I have a personal Instagram account and I never look at it. So I don't even really understand it all that much. So I'm just going to show you, because this was not my idea. So we're going to be making that. And this is Heart and Soul by M on Instagram. So maybe you guys know, watch her and see her stuff. But anyway, I just wanted to say that it's not my idea. It's this lady's idea. All right. And I've practiced. I've actually made a couple of different kinds of flowers. So I will show you. I don't know if this is how she did it, because if she had instructions, they're on Instagram, and like I said, I'm just really not familiar, so I didn't want to try and figure it out. So I figured it out my way. I have lots of stuff around my desk right now, so if something falls into our way, well, whoopsie daisy. So I'm just working on pulling pages out of a book that I found at a thrift store. I thought that I kind of liked the book cover, and I thought, well, I'll read the book. And I started reading it. I didn't like it at all, which is generally the case for me. I am really hard to please when it comes to a book. So I thought I'll just use the pages. But I've noticed that there are some not so nice words in it. And so I haven't been able to use the pages as much as I would have liked. So you have to be really careful. This, however, covers pretty much everything. So I think we're pretty good to go. Okay, so what I have done is I've just cut off some of the white. I'm going to actually go ahead and get this off too, because we're going to be using it. And I started my first round here at about 3/4 of an inch. And then this outer one was actually kind of too big, but I don't know what I did. I'll just add about 1/4. I don't know, more than 1/4. I want to be able to see it, but I'm just kind of estimating. Let's see, it's like maybe 1 1/8 is what I'm doing. And again, I don't know if this is how she did it at all, but I'm going to put these together. And I'm going to use this glue just because it dries so quickly. I know it'll be just fine when I'm ready to use it. Okay, so we'll just leave that out of the way. And then the folds are almost, at first I thought it was back and forth, but it wasn't. They're almost kind of triangular a little bit. So you fold, I'm going to ink it a little so maybe you can see the lines. So you fold it so that it's going off to the side. And then if you keep going, it'll make a round. So yeah, it is a little fiddly, but I've got time on my hands. What else am I going to do? And then, the folds don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the same distance, and I've crumpled them up a little, and it's fine. I'm just trying to kind of meet my fold up a little. in the center. And if I run out, I can just add a little paper. Actually, I brought my ends together even though I did run out, and it was fine. And I'll show you that when I get to the end. Okay, so you see what I'm doing there? So we got snow today. It snowed off and on all day. I don't have my glasses on right now, so it's hard for me to tell if it's snowing. I can see okay to do this, but I can't see out there real well. It looks like it might be snowing still just a little bit, but it was light off and on, so maybe 2.5 to 3 inches. I don't know for sure, but it's wet snow. I don't know if it'll end up sticking around or not. Okay, so see how it doesn't quite meet? It looks like that. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and get my glue and force it to meet. And then just kind of squish it down. See how that worked out okay? Oops. And if you want, just to stabilize it, you can go ahead and, where did my paper punch go? You can go ahead and do a little ring on the bottom for stability. And it's okay if it's off-centered and all that. If you want, you can put a little glue wherever you missed, but it's fine. And then I took my ink and just went over the top of it. And then you can go around the edges. Okay, so there's the first one. And then we do exactly the same thing with this one. My fingers are a little getting dirty from doing this. I've been playing with the paper for, I don't know, a while, trying to see if I could figure out a few different options for some fun for us. Whenever the weather changes, I get headaches, so my head does like this quick throb every now and then. It started last night, and of course, I think the weather started coming in last night. Isn't that weird how our bodies can be so affected by weather? I just think that's odd. I think that one needs to be a little bit more in. See if that's far enough. I'm going to do one more fold, I think. Or two for good measure. So you don't need anything special for this. You just need paper and scissors and glue. I've came up with a few other options for us to try with some paper punches, so they're really pretty. But you know, we don't all have paper punches, and they're harder and harder to find these days. Sometimes you can find die cuts, you know, but okay, so, you know, I meant to put that on this big one. Silly me. I'm gonna go ahead and cut another one out. That's okay. I mean, it doesn't make any difference, but so just squish it down, and then again ink around it. You could do so many different kinds of ink too. You know, you can do the distress ink, or you could do, you know, colored stamp ink. You could do red or purple or whatever. And I don't know, I guess it would just depend on the journal or whatever it is you're working on, you know, to know if, you know, the color would go or not. I, you know, don't want to make something purple and then never have a purple. I don't want to use this flower because it doesn't have a lot of meshy look to it. It's very solid, but I also don't want to just cut right through the flower because it's pretty. So I'm going to try and cut it out of there real quick. Anyway, yeah, it's a pretty little flower. I didn't want to cut that up. So I thought I would use this part. So I'm just going to hold it on, let's see, I'm more like this part here. I'm just going to hold it on there and kind of cut around it, and then I'll trim it. This is not exactly easy. I'm trying to do it on camera, and it would be more natural for me to do it over my lap. So forgive me while I fumble. Okay, get that out of the way. And then I'm just going to cut it down a little because I know it's bigger than I want it to be. Okay, so that's pretty good. I mean, if you wanted more of your underneath paper to show, you can just trim it in a little bit more. And it doesn't have to be a perfect circle or anything like that. And then I wanted to layer it with some of this. So I'm just gonna get a circle-ish out of this now. It's pretty big. Okay, and now this is where I really shouldn't have put this thing on the back side of it. I wasn't thinking real well. I didn't do it the first time. The paper just kind of scrunches up better, you know, when it doesn't have that solid paper underneath it. Alrighty, so we're just going to go ahead and glue in the center. We're going to put a little extra glue right here. Push that down. And then a button. So I did just a little kind of tan colored button on that one. So let's see if I can find, let's see here. That one's kind of yellowish. I like that one. I want pink. But I don't know if I'll find a good pink one. This one's too big. This one's too small. I have different buttons kind of everywhere, so. I like this one. That's pretty, but I really like that one too. So I'm going to do that one. Now you can put, I actually put more underneath this, and I can do that, or I can just leave it. I'm going to do it because I did it the last time. So I put just a little bit more of this. And where's the other? In my lap. And then just a little more of this as well. I'm gonna lay that on top and poke some glue down real quick. And there we go. The glue's kind of poking through the button. That's funny. Anyway, so there's that kind. I think they're really pretty. And it's a good way to use up some book page. So we'll put those there. And then the next one I made was this one. Now I made this one with paper punches. I have these. They are Stampin' Up! And I have no idea if you can get these anymore. I doubt it. I have, okay, and then this one was a Fisker's one, and maybe you can get this one still. But I did, I think 2 big ones and a medium one, I think is what I did. And what I did with these was I crumpled them to get the kind of fluffy look to it. So I just took and crumpled, and then crumpled again, and then crumpled again. And then just lay it out. And then I inked them. And then just kind of do a back and forth thing. I had already cut out some of the smaller ones, so that one's already cut and inked. And then I actually have, whoops, I have a little one. Now in this one I used this, but I think I'm going to use this one. And you could layer these up with lace as well. You can do these with your scraps, which I think I plan to do at some point. So there's that. Now, I mean, you can't see the distinction very well because of it being, you know, it's all the same pattern. What would be kind of cool if you wanted to, you could do white book page, and then like this one's a little bit more of aged look, but you could go back and forth between a white and you know, like this one. That would look really neat, I think. Okay, so this one I did a brad. And so let's look in here and just find another brad. I used one, I've got some with little gems, but I think I want to do one of these. This is one that I found at an estate sale earlier this summer. Got a nice like coppery look to them. So just line them up. That bottom one looks like it's off a little bit. And then just kind of get the hole started. And then push it through a bit. There we go. Isn't that pretty? And then you can ink up around the edges a little bit more. You could come in with a different color ink just to ink around the edges. So there's that one. And so what if you don't have paper punches? I did one just freehand. Let me get some of these little pieces out of the way. I'm thinking I might do an altered book with this, so I'm strategically pulling out the pages. I've not done an altered book before, so that should be interesting. Okay, so I just made some circles-ish. That's more like an oval, but you know what I mean. And then I just went down in size each time, kind of. Let's see. Maybe just a little bit more. Do one more. Okay, and then here's the part where You're gonna laugh at me, but I just made my own little flower-ish shape. And if I can do it, you can do it. And some of them is like, oh no, that's gonna look horrible. But it turned out fine, I think. That's kind of weird, but I think it's gonna be okay. Be patient. We'll see how it works. You just don't want to cut the diameter, you know, you just want to make petals without changing the diameter so that you have that layered effect. If you guys haven't watched my December daily on the one, I think it's like, I don't remember, maybe the 6th or something like that, where it says family coloring contest. My family's been asking if you guys have voted. And so if you have watched it and you didn't vote, please vote. And then if you haven't watched it, watch it and vote. We had a family coloring contest just for fun. And they've asked several times if there's results yet. So I think I've only gotten maybe 3 votes. Okay, maybe that petal was a little small. This might be hard to watch. I think I like this side better. One more. Okay, like that one looks pretty silly, but in the end, I'm sure that it'll just all blend. So I'm gonna kind of double them up this time. So you're definitely not going to want to do this with paper that's really old, that tears easily. This one's doing fine. I haven't had any major damage happen. But sometimes the papers that we find in these old books are so fragile. So you just want to make sure you have a nice sturdy paper. Okay, and then we'll ink. Is that the side I want? I don't know. Just, no, I do think I like that side better. I'm going to go ahead and glue as I layer so I can get them kind of in the center to begin with. All right, so I mean, you guys can tell already, you don't need the paper punches. How cute is that? It's just adorable. And then I think we'll do this pretty little pink one right there in the center. Alrighty, so there we have it. So we made 3, but these are all of the ones that I made today. Aren't they cute? I love them. And you know, you can layer up, like these ones have the layering. You can do that here too. You can switch paper colors back and forth to give it different dimension. All kinds of things. Anyway, I hope you like that and give them a try. Use up some of that book page. I will see you guys soon. Bye.